So I have this very important question for you. Do you consider yourself a warrior? Warrior, not warrior, a warrior. Now, what do I mean? You constantly see yourself worrying about what if this happens, what if that happens. You're constantly worried about things in your life. Well, I've seen myself also worried about a lot of things that I've done in my life in time past. But sometimes I just sit down and ask myself, where does worrying actually come from? Worrying is actually a gift from our Creator. Society has said that worrying is not good. Don't worry, we should not do this. Society has tried to make worrying look like it's a bad thing. Any emotion you feel inside of you is actually there for a purpose. If you feel the emotion of fear, the fear is there to alert you for something. It means there's a danger ahead, or you're about to do something that is bad, or something like that. Or if you feel happiness, that emotion is there for a purpose. If you feel anxious, that emotion is also there for a purpose. To stop feeling emotion or to not want to feel emotion is to feel death. So also is worrying. Worrying is there for a purpose. But I think what the problem is that we worry in the wrong order. Most people worry in the wrong order, and you could actually also be worrying in the wrong order. What do I mean by worrying in the wrong order? Just listen to me, let me explain it. You see, most times out of excitement, you just jump into buying something that you know you can't afford, and then later on you start thinking how you are going to make sure that you maintain that thing. Like, for example, you know you cannot afford a particular car, but you jump into buying it, and then later you start thinking how can you maintain that car. You know you cannot afford to take your kids to a particular school, but you send them to that school, and then later you start worrying how you can pay their school fees. You know you cannot pay that particular house rent, but you jump into the house, and then later you start worrying how you can pay that house rent. You know you cannot take care of that child, but you got your wife pregnant, and then later you start thinking how can you train that child. So that is what I mean by worrying in the wrong order. I think the best way to worry is to worry before making a decision, which means you worry upfront. What do I mean? You should worry if you could afford that house before you move into that house, so that when you get in there, you will not be worried how to pay the rent. You should worry if you could afford that school before you take your kids into the school, so that you will not be worried how you can pay the school fees when they're already there. You should be worried if you can take care of that child before you got your wife pregnant, so that when after you've done that, you will not be worried on how you can take care of the child. You should be worried if you can maintain that car before you buy it, so that after you bought it, you will not be thinking how you can maintain the car. You should be worried about the outcome of that relationship before you jump into it, so that when you are in the relationship, you will not be thinking what could be the outcome, or be worried how it's going to be or how it's going to turn out. So that is what we mean to worry upfront. When you worry upfront, it will help you to be calm and to be at peace, because it will settle your mind to search for solution, or to look for a better way to afford that thing, or to get that thing, or to be able to preempt that particular thing you want to do before you do them. So when you are doing that thing, you'll be free inside of you, because you know you have thought it through, you have decided it in through without pressure behind you concerning that decision. But when you don't worry upfront, you worry after you have made a decision, then that worry could be bad for you. But if you worry upfront before making a particular decision, your heart will be free. You'll start doubting yourself a lot less, because you know that whatever decision you are doing, you have thought it very well, and you know that that decision is actually good for you before you make that decision, and you know that you can actually do that thing before you make that decision. So if you worry upfront, it will help you to be free inside of you, and you worry less, and you'll be more free in your heart in whatever you are doing. That is the right way I think you should worry. Selah. So if you got one item of value from this video, give it a thumbs up, share this video with someone, and subscribe to this channel if you're yet to subscribe. My name is Benzik, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers.